I'm here and I'm chatting with Justin here, who is the president of the Ballarat District Early Holden Car Club, who are running today's event, which is obviously the All GM Day. Justin, great show, great turnout so far. How do you think it's going?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Sandra, and welcome. Welcome to Ballarat. We're pleased to have you along and pleased to have Breeze and Gast here showing exactly what we do.
Yeah, great turnout here. The rain's kept away, which is great. So tell us, with your club, it is Early Holden, it says on what the club is, but you're pretty much any Holdens?
We can be. I mean, early is subjective to how old that person might be. So we're happy to have all comers. But I mean, predominantly the club was based around the club permit scheme and getting as many of these cars on the road and being used as much as possible.
Yeah, there's a great variety of cars here. Now, how many years you guys been running the show here?
This show's been running for 8 years, and it does seem to go from strength to strength. We had about 650 cars last year, and we're expecting similar numbers this year, even though the weather has not been as kind.
No, I can imagine it could really go either way. Ballarat, for those who aren't from Ballarat, I'll fill you in on something. It can be really, really hot here and you can be getting absolutely fried. If you've ever been to the swap meet that they have up here in Ballarat, it's dusty and hot, or then it can turn on you and it can be snowing.
Yes, we're very resilient here.
They are a resilient bunch in Ballarat. But yeah, like I said, it is a bit cold here today, but you can rug up. It's not too bad. No. It hasn't kept people away, and there is definitely a great variety of cars here. So if anyone is local to this area and would like to join up with a club, they can come along to some meetings? Absolutely.
We have a meeting first Tuesday of the month out at the Ballarat Airport. And all are welcome. People can come along. If they don't have a car, they can still come along and enjoy the atmosphere and getting around the good cars. And it's a very family-friendly club.
Yeah, perfect. So Justin, today the proceeds from the show, they go towards some local charities in the area?
They do, yeah. This is our major fundraiser for the year. We choose a number of charities to support. We've got Ballarat Hospice, the Ballarat Children's Ward, AAA Sports, Shannon's Bridge and Heart Kids this year. So they'll all receive funds from this day.
And how much have you raised in prior years?
It's usually around the $10,000 or $12,000 mark per year, it obviously depends on the numbers on the day and so forth. But anything around that number we think is a great success.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. And it's great to see so many car clubs that do donate to local charities. So when you come down here, it's definitely worthwhile. And obviously, you are supporting those local charities with your entry fees from today as well, which is fantastic.
That's great.
Thanks a lot for doing that for those charities. Well, let's go and have a look at some more cars. Thanks for talking to us, Justin.
Thanks very much. No, great.
Hey guys, I'm here with Hayden and he's from one of the sponsors of the GM Day here today, Bowser Bean Coffee. You guys are in the background here and flat out I can see, which is great to see.
Yeah, we are getting absolutely pumped this morning.
It's freezing up here. It's only about probably 9 degrees. Yeah, it's fresh and I do have a jacket. But Hayden, you're obviously nice and busy here today. First All GM Day?
Yes, first time to be involved with this great club.
Yep, and the combi behind us is actually yours, I hear. So tell us a little bit about that.
One of those passion projects that really gets out of hand.
Yep.
But the goal was to turn it into a promotional vehicle.
Yep.
So it did start its life, I think, as a South African postal van or something.
Oh, wow.
And we've turned it into a bit of a Frankenstein.
Yep.
So I've turned it into a 21 window.
Yep.
Porsche running gear.
Yep.
It's a good thing. We're all about getting our coffee to people quickly.
Yep.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Now, you say it was a postal van, so is the car originally from Australia or you just been imported from overseas?
Oh, no. We found it in Newcastle a couple
Yep.
of years ago, but when we traced it back, it had a little bit of a history.
It's history. There you go. They are a fun car to drive, combis, aren't they? They're no powerhouse. I have driven one.
It should be interesting. I think I'm going to have to learn to drive it slowly.
Oh, really? Ah, and so running gear wise, what's it running?
So we've put a 2.7 litre Porsche
yours
911
isn't going
engine in.
slow there. No, yours is quite a zippy little combi. I've heard that they go quite well.
So that can go quite well, but
Yep.
to back that up, I guess it has to stop and go around corners a little bit. So
Yeah.
we've put the Porsche running gear and the brakes and
Yep.
suspension as well.
So it's had a full upgrade.
Oh yeah, there's not much original about that thing.
Yeah, no, I've heard that the Porsche motors do fit in there quite well, and it would definitely get along okay.
Air cooled, little
Yep.
boxer. So
Yeah, makes
much of a
sense.
muchness,
There you go. So no, I have driven one with an original engine in it, and it was actually quite funny because I've never had a lot to do with combis, and the amount of attention it actually got when I was driving, because I think a lot of people can relate to having a combi from years ago. So what made you get into combis? What was the reason behind that?
I guess I come from a bit of a Porsche family. We've
Yep.
always loved our 911s,
Yep.
and we're looking for a good promotional vehicle, and
Yep.
everyone was doing combis. We're like,
Yep.
yeah, that's what we should do.
Yeah,
So-
no, definitely. And I think with the coffees, it suits that as well.
Yep.
So in terms of Holdens here today, or even anything GM badged, what do you think sort of your favourite car that you might have seen here today, or do you have a favourite Holden or GM?
No, it is a bit of a walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some great Holdens in my life.
Yeah.
I saw a great VP Commodore before,
Yeah.
which was my first car.
Apparently they're getting worth a lot of money as well, VPs. There's no more Holdens getting produced anymore.
Yeah.
Apparently they're really
No, it had to happen.
Yeah. No, they're hitting the mark now, and there is quite a few here. There's a good representation of of like the Commodores here, and then the chrome bumper cars as well, with the Americans the classics thrown in there as well. Now Bowser Bean. Now this is obviously your coffee brand that you've got here today, and you're saying it's the first time you've been to the All GM Day, but your business is set up for people to go to with some of the vintage cars. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we really do see synergies with car clubs and events like this, because our cafes are set up in service stations.
Yep.
Hence the Bowser Bean, petrol and coffee.
Look at that. There you go.
And I think there's it's a great idea, like on Sunday mornings when you go for those runs, that you can find some of our lovely little service stations out in the country where you can get your good quality fuel, great petrol,
Yep.
plenty of parking, good
Yep.
food. They can sit and have a feed,
And get a nice
have a bit of
coffee.
a chat, and then back on the road without the hassles of trying to get the park. And
So where are you guys based? Where are all your different...
we are regional Victoria and New South Wales,
Yep.
so the likes of Kyneton, Mansfield, Kilmore, Pillsville.
Yep.
And then all the way up to Deniliquin, and we've got a new one opening in Condobolin, which is central New South Wales, in the next couple of weeks.
So if you're on your way to any of these events, particularly if you're on an early morning start and you're going even to a swap meet, how good is it? You go on a day like today, you go get your coffee, and then head on up there as well.
It's easy.
And you can see your car when it's parked there while you're having your coffee, get your fuel. What a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Nailed it. So we are going to go and get a coffee. I've already had one, but I'm feeling like there could be another one. I'm going to go and join the queue. Thanks for talking to us, Hayden.
Thanks for your
Good
time.
luck with your business venture and have fun in that combi. Make sure you take it easy out there.
Thank you.
I'm here having a chat with Pia, and one of the rarer cars I think you'll find on an All GM day with your HB Tirana.
That's correct. This is my Betty White.
Betty White, love Betty White. Who doesn't love Betty White?
I know. She's a 1969 HB.
Man.
Series 2.
Series 2. What's the difference between a Series 1 and a Series 2?
Carburettor.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I didn't
Not a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
Not a hell of a lot.
No.
Few little changes, few little extra horsepower in the Series 2.
Now, talking about horsepower, how much are you rocking there at the front there? What size engines in a HB Tirana?
All 1100, baby.
Yeah,
All 1100.
So when we think of Tiranas, we often think of LX and LH Tiranas, and we think of like people putting LS engines and things like that, but not for you, Pia.
No, not for me.
You like
Granny spec.
Yeah, Granny spec, Betty White here. So you've come from a history of Tirana. So you were saying earlier off camera, you've always had HBs. How old were you when you first got your first one?
I purchased my first HB, 68 Series 1, when I was 16.
Yep.
Worked on that for 2 years, got that up and running, drove that around for a number of years until I drove it under a Hilux.
Ooh, ouch.
But while I had that one on the road, I'd acquired a Brabham as my spares vehicle.
Yep.
So I then rebuilt the Brabham. Took years and years to do that. Finished that off, drove it for a few years, sold it to a friend.
Yep.
Bought it back off him, sold it back to him. Never saw it again.
Yep.
Long story there. So when my dad passed away a couple of years ago, I tracked down the blue 4-door and just needed something in my life to bring me some joy. So I bought the blue 4-door. And over the last couple of years, I managed to track this girl down from the Gold Coast, got her truck down, first drive, cooked the motor.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so $5,000 later from a rebuild for the guys at M&W here in Ballarat.
Yep.
And she's as good as gold.
She's ready to go.
Doesn't do wheel stands, but she's as good as gold.
And we were also chatting about when you sold your blue 4-door. What did everyone want to do to the HB Tirana when you sold it?
Oh, they wanted to stick a Chevy in it. They wanted to tub the rears out. They wanted to turn it into a drag car.
Yep.
So I'm really, really fortunate. Hi, Ken, if you're watching. Really glad I found such an amazing home for her with Ken down in Melbourne.
And hopefully it stays original and stock. We do hope, and you felt it is. You've obviously found an owner that will keep that original. Because like I said, they are such a rare car. I think I've seen only one, I think, at the Summonats late last year, but there is not a lot of them around. So well done for you for keeping
very
this
much.
stock. Now you're a member of the club here as well, running today?
That's correct, and also a member of the the Tirana Club, Victorian Tirana Club.
So you're right into it.
And helping out with the Shannon's Bridge stall as well up here today, an end of life care hub in Creswick.
Because they are supporting charities here today. We were talking earlier to the guys. So that's an awesome effort. And how do you think you'll go today with the show?
Oh, it'll be interesting after winning last 2 years, small car category with blue, to see how little Betty White goes today. But it's not about the coming home with trophies. It's about the atmosphere. It's about the event. It's about the sponsorship, it's about the organisations, and it's just a brilliantly run event.
And you know what, I love it that you're so passionate about it. You sound like you work on your own cars and you're passionate about no one else changing your old car as well, which I love. I love that. So I love when I hear stories like that. And any changes to Betty White, or you're happy with her now?
Happy with her. Had her in the workshop where I work last week. She's had 4 new wheel bearings, had a diff oil change. I've worked as a funeral director. I've smelt some pretty rank things in my life, but there was
diff oil.
That burnt diff oil
special,
is something else. So she's had that, popped a new condenser in her on Friday, and next thing I'm going to do is pull out the carby and send it off for a complete recondition.
Look at you go. There you go. Pia, she is ready for summer, and so is Betty White. Well, we'll see you out and about on the roads over summer, I'm sure. Pia, thanks for chatting to us.
Thanks so much. Lovely to chat with you.
You too.
See you guys.